Welcome back to another episode of Monkeying Around, I think I'm going to call it. Did you see that? Some Diggity Donuts around today. He came off his bike. Hello, hello. So, a couple of things I need to do today. Got to go and look at a house for Mum on Pound Lane. Haven't quite figured out how I'm going to get there. They said 15% chance of rain, and I was willing to take those odds. But damn it, I was having some nice dry roads. Oh dear, what happened there? What way should I go? I'll go right. Try and get past that truck. No. The answer is no, I can't. Got past it. So if you got any rain splats on you, can then someone invent windscreen wipers for GoPros? That'll be great. Get out of the fucking road, Jesus. That's it. Do you reckon I can get up this curb? Oh. No problem for the monkey. Is that considered off-roading? Motorbikes park free anyway, don't they? There we go. That was straightforward enough. It's still being built. There it is, Mum, at the end there. So it's a new build. Okay, that's very nice. Errand number 1 done. So I'm going on a different route today because they have resurfaced the road, and I found it the other day that it was resurfaced. Oh, bugger. Why would I go this way? But the monkey bike, the agile little bugger it is, can go nyawn all through the traffic. Hello, hello? Yeah? You don't want to race? Let's get ready. Meow. It was very nice. She was like, you have a monkey bike, you go forth. The respect of the monkey bike. Here we go. A few righties. Go on, off you go. Bugger off. Alright, so story time. This is part 2 of why I'm riding a monkey bike. In the previous episode, I told you the story of how I got my CB500F, and it's now still in the garage. Why is it still in the garage? Well, after I bought the bike, I thought, well, I've got to pass my test now. Now, the test in the UK, you've got a Mod 1 and a Mod 2. Mod 1 is in the pad, like off-road, going around cones, you've got an emergency stop, slalom, stuff like that. And then you've got the Mod 2, which is the on-road bit, so that's like your regular car test. You drive around, sort of ride around, instructor follows you, picks up on what you do and what you don't do. And I thought the best way of doing this was to book a week off work and do a 1-week intensive course. The first day I did my CBT, so that was bloody easy. Oh wow, I'll tell you something about the CBT. So people ask like, oh, I'm scared I won't pass the CBT. There is literally no way you can fail the CBT. It's not a pass or fail. They just give you a certificate at the end which said you completed the training. And the instructors that do the CBT just have to be happy that you're safe on the road. Well, not for my one, they didn't. So there was 2 fellas there. There was one that was 16. His name was Alfie, the same as my cat, which was a bit bizarre, but he was called Alfie. It's allowed, I guess. Then there was another guy called, I forget his name, but he was 18. He didn't drive. He was just getting a moped to do Deliveroo or something like that. And there's some people that just get motorbike riding. They understand the balance. They've ridden push bikes before, and they can pick it up quite quickly. Alfie, for instance, a 16-year-old, was fantastic. He got onto the bike. He was confident. He was listening to what the instructor was saying about how to, like, the positioning on the road, and he was like 16, so it was quite impressive. This other guy, oh my god, he was one of the worst bike riders I've ever seen in my life. And back to people asking me whether you can fail the test. This kid literally crashed on his bike riding bit of the CBT. He came off his bike. Now, I'm no expert, but surely that's quite dangerous. Surely that's a reason to not say someone should go out on their own on a motorbike after a day's training. And when we were out on the road ride, I was behind him, and he was literally all the way over to the left-hand side of the road and going about 15 miles an hour, and he was sort of wobbling like this all the time. It was honestly scary riding behind him, that he was going to do something silly, like clip the curb or crash into a car in front. So that was a CBT, and so if you're like a 16 or 17 year old, you're worried about your CBT and passing it, don't worry. It's very easy. Just don't fall off. And even if you do fall off like this fella, you can still probably pass it. So after I'd done my CBT, I had 3 more days of training, and my test was on the Thursday, both my Mod 1 and Mod 2. And I thought, fantastic. There was another guy that did it with me. He was called Ethan, he was 19, and he'd ridden around on a 125 for the last few years anyway. So he was a really good rider. The first sort of morning of the training, we were on the pad doing the slaloms, and I was really actually quite struggling to getting the confidence. A tip here, and one thing I learnt, was keep your revs quite high. Don't come off the power too much. Use the clutch and the brake as your friends. By the way, this is the lovely resurfaced bit. Look at it. Beautiful. So we did the pad stuff, and then the first day we actually went out on the road, which was really good fun actually. Our instructor Andy was fantastic the whole time. I'll distinctly remember when he said to us at a light, so he said to me at the lights, Ethan had gone through the lights and we got caught at the red, and he said, James, don't forget, there's no limit on acceleration, basically telling me to bomb it to catch up with Ethan. So that was good fun. Our instructor Andy was a laugh. So once we'd done all the pad exercises, and we were sort of getting confident with those. In fact, on the last day, on the morning of the test, I was still quite struggling a little bit with doing the slaloms. But the on-road rides were 0 to 30. Let's go. Whoa! How quick was that? 2 seconds? 1 maybe? It was rapid. Where was I? Yeah. So I was struggling a bit with the pad, but the on-road bit throughout the test, or throughout the week training, was bloody lovely. We were just basically riding around Kent. We had Andy, our instructor, in our ear, just telling us when we were doing things wrong. So if we didn't do a lifesaver check when we were coming onto a roundabout, we'd just say, don't forget your lifesaver. And just over the week, we were ironing out all the mistakes. The actual riding of the bike for both of us was quite easy. Might go through Whitstable, what do you reckon? You want to come through Whitstable with me? Okay, good plan. So we get to test day, which was the Thursday. We'd been riding around with our instructor Andy. I was more confident on the pads than I was on the first day and doing the manoeuvres. So we go to the test centre. They're split out in time, so we did Mod 1 in the morning and Mod 2 in the afternoon, probably a couple of hours between them. We both passed our Mod 1, which was relatively easy. I actually messed up a bit. I don't know what I messed up. I don't remember, but I remember the instructor like helping me, and he was really good about it actually. And on my emergency stop, you have to go over 30 miles an hour, and I was going like 42, and he said that was a minor, you were just going a bit too fast. A lot of people fail for going too slow, so I was the opposite, going too fast. Mod 1, fantastic, passed it. Final hurdle, passed Mod 2. Mod 2 is the easy one. Mod 2 is just riding around and making sure you don't do anything wrong. So my time for Mod 2 came around 2 PM. It had been raining through Ethan's one. Ethan failed his, by the way. He failed his Mod 2. He came back and I was like, well, at least I'll pass mine, right? It's only riding around. But I was a bit concerned because he was a really good rider and he failed. So my one came around, it stopped raining. All good signs. At first they asked you a few questions about the bike. The the instructor again helped me with them. So those questions at the start, they're really easy. How do you check your oil? How do you do this? Check your lights. There's just set things you have to answer, so just revise them and remember them. I didn't. I had to have the fella help me out, but again, he was really good. So I go out on my ride. I'm pretty confident, enjoying it. And then there's a right-hand turn. I've done plenty of right-hand turns out of a junction. Did my lifesavers, checked, indicated, and then I went slightly too wide. I clipped the white line on the left of the road, and I knew instantly there that I failed. That was a handling error. So I knew I bloody failed, and I was shaking my head when it happened. I was like, fuck's sake, James. But maybe if the rest of the ride was good, I'd get away with it. I did not. Got back, came in, and I actually got a minor because I forgot to indicate into the test centre. And I thought I failed on that, but apparently that was only a minor. And by the way, I paid £800 for this course, so I was pretty upset that I failed. Yeah, and then lockdown. Oh my fucking god, are you dumb, bruv? Did you see that? So COVID hit, and I couldn't reschedule my test. I could have done it in the summer, but it was like £200, so I didn't really want to spend any more money. So all over summer, I didn't really worry about it. So I just drove my car, forgot about the fact I failed my bike test. COVID was a thing as well. Oh, what are you doing? My word. Some diggity donuts around today. Let me take you back to February last year, before I'd even done the bike test. This is when I was really getting into bikes. And I went to the bike show. The bike show in London, the XL, where thousands of people congregated in one place, and that's funny to think about now. And I discovered the monkey bike, and I was like, yes, at some point in my life I want one of those. I just thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, look at it. Look how much fun I'm having now on it. And I said at some point I want that. And when I failed my test, I went straight to Honda Maidstone. I was like, can I get a monkey? And I tried to get finance on it, and it didn't quite work out. So I couldn't get a monkey bike then. That was back in March. So back this January 21, I got more excited about the monkey bike. I started looking at them again, started watching YouTube videos of them again, and thought, while we're still in lockdown and I'm not very close to getting my test, I really like a bike to ride around on. So I collected some funds for the monkey bike and started looking around for them again. The trouble is, there's no more new ones in the country. So these bikes are only around £3,500. And when I was trying to get a new one in March, there was a pre-reg one. I was going to get it for £3,150. It was a fantastic deal. So when I called up Honda Maidstone this January 21, they said, oh, we've got none new. We've only got a used one, which has got 1,000 miles on it. And we can do it for 3,300. So it was more expensive than the new one. And so I was like, yep, I will get that, please. Bought the bike, and now I have a Honda Monkey. So that's the story. Pretty exciting, right? I've still got my CB500. It's still in the garage. I plan to pass my test at some point this year. It's just when lockdown allows it. What one do you want? So now I'm riding around a Honda Monkey with L plates because I've still not passed my test. Well, I'm having an absolute blast doing it. And anyone who's on a learner license, go grab one of these. You'll get more experience learning how a bike works, how a clutch works, working gears, and it's more fun than a moped. Hello.